Good morning and welcome to the morning news. My name is Na Ashoko. Coming up, Chief Executive Officer of the GIPC calls for calm as measures are put in place to resolve trade tension between foreigners engaged in retail trade and Spare Parts Dealers Association in Ghana. Diplomatic efforts intensify over DSTV pricing debates as South Africa's foreign minister is expected in Ghana to mediate with authorities. Former Supreme Court Judge Justice Atuguba reiterates there were no constitutional breaches in the dismissal of Gertrude Torkanu as Chief Justice. These and more coming up in the news this morning. More than 150 shops belonging to foreign nationals engaged in retail trading at Abossey-Okai have been closed by leadership of Abossey-Okai Spare Parts Dealers Association. The closures are in a bid to enforce the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act 2013, Act 865, specifically Section 27(1). Although majority have complied, it was an altercation from one shop to another when the shop owners were being asked to close. Judge Craning gives us this report.
You belongs to my wife. You can go. You go. Come on. You can go. You don't have to post. I will not. Don't worry. I will show you now.
Chinedu Victor, a Nigerian, would not budge. He claims the shop belongs to his wife, who is a Ghanaian. This exercise is purely a form of intimidation, he emphasized.
According to leadership of the association, 90% of the foreigners are complying, but there have been some few altercations like this one, but they were able to surmount it.
Everybody's complying. We've had about 2 or 3 issues, difficulties for them to close our shops, but now they've closed the shops, so we are not having any problems now. We've asked them to bring their documents to our executive office so we can do our checks with the registrar's office and the internal revenues to make sure the Ghanaians are not fronting for them.
It's nothing like stubborn. This is what they call intimidation, and I will never accept intimidation in this country. There is nothing like stubborn. The shop belongs to my wife. What they are doing is illegal work, because if you want to do legal work, you go to Register General, check all the shop, and you know who owns the shop. Even before you intervene, you know who owns the shop. You don't barge into people's privacy and start to.
But I'm aware that you are giving notice to close your shop.
Notice of what? To close the Nigerian shop. But this is Nigeria. No, this is not Nigerian shop. Do you expect me to close Ghanaian shop because they say Nigerians should close their shop?
Why are you trying to be stubborn?
I'm not stubborn.
Yeah, listen to me. I said close it. That's it.
It was a heated exchange of words from one shop to the other in the association's bid to enforce GIPC Act 865, specifically Section 27 Clause 1, which limits petty trading to citizens. In the case of foreigners, they are allowed to engage in wholesale. Leadership of the association was supported by some personnel from the national security. Key points of contention include unfair competition, lack of enforcement, and protection of local enterprises.
There's actually this debate that the Nigerian retailers do better in the retail space than their Ghanaian counterpart. And Ghanaian can be selling this for 100 cedis, and the Nigerian will actually sell this same thing for 20 Ghana cedis. And the Director of Communications, Techi Ado, breaks this down and explains why things are like this.
Nigerians and Ghanaians will go to the same market, will buy the same thing. But mind you, from Nigeria, from overseas to Nigeria at the port, the percentage is 15%. Then they will use cargo through Togo, through Benin to Togo to Ghana. They spend 3%. It makes 18%. But when you go to the port, our port, the percentage is 55%. Interest rate in Nigeria, less than 20%. Ghana is 30 to 40%. Cote d'Ivoire is 7.5%. So clearly, these people, we cannot compete with them.
This Nigeria, they make market very simple for us. Ghanaians, they bought it, they put a higher price. So what the issue now they are doing is not a bad. We need to see them, to talk to them. What the Nigerians, they are not doing bad thing. You Ghana man, you buy 10 cedi, you put 10 cedi top. Nigerian man, you get 1 cedi, you have shares forward.
This exercise, the association emphasizes, is not against foreign investment, but rather to ensure compliance with Ghana's laws regulating trade and commerce. George Queenin, TV3 News, Abosokai, Accra.
President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Joseph Obeng, has warned that members will embark on a massive protest dubbed the Destiny Day demonstration if government fails to urgently address concerns over foreign involvement in retail trade in Ghana. Speaking earlier on Business Focus, he insisted the planned action will be more intense than the recent industrial protest by the same association if the government fails to strictly enforce the existing trade laws.
China malls, the China towns, and what have you. While they are expanding left, right, center, we are shrinking. And it doesn't cause any alarm for the authorities. We have the law, we have to enforce it. It's very unfortunate that we have to look on for the citizens to take actions. And people, we are going to declare the Destiny Day demonstration very soon. When that happens, nobody can control us because we are the governed, but it doesn't mean that we don't have a stake in governance. So whatever is there in the law, let's act upon it. Why are we shying away from enforcing the laws that have clearly been enacted in our laws? Why? Why are we shy of enforcing the laws? So I support any of our sectors. In fact, I've given the green light for them to embark on this journey, and we are going to make sure that we will close all the shops, not only the Nigerians and all that.
Meanwhile, the chief executive of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, Simon Maggi, has urged for calm as government works to address the situation.
We came to some conclusions. I am here to brief the Honorable Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry on the way forward. But what I would say is that from what I've seen or heard, I would urge calm. I think that we are all neighbors. We've been in this business for a long time. This is not a time for us to really lose control of ourselves and attack people in their markets, because that is not what Ghana stands for. We know that there are some pain points, but rest assured, His Excellency the President and the Minister of Trade and Government are working hard around the clock to resolve some of these issues and to make sure that Ghana benefits as well as our neighbors also benefit. So that's what I would say for.
And now, former Supreme Court Judge Justice William Atuguba says there were no constitutional breaches in the investigation that led to the removal of Gertrude Torkornoo as Chief Justice. According to him, the former Chief Justice has the right to challenge the process in court, but must not act as though the position is her birthright.
The committee is set up in accordance with the provisions. The committee goes in, they hear the matter fairly and thoroughly. And then the recommendations, well, I think that was done.
So the process was fair?
Oh, yes, why not?
But the dismissed CJ doesn't think so.
Do you expect her to think so?
There are those who feel that Article 146 in itself perhaps has an issue and needs to be looked at. And those people who share such opinion include the former CJ as well, Sofa Akufu, who even cited the Ejechum case as an example and felt that this whole process that we've taken the current CJ or the dismissed CJ through was very unnecessary, and Article 146 is the problem.
Well, I haven't seen reasons, the grounds for particularizing the imperfection or the the defects of Article 146. There are no grounds. Now, but the interesting thing is, if you look at 146, it's even better than the appointing process. The appointing process is even more political than the removal process. More political. In the case of the Chief Justice, you are nominated by the President, then in consultation with the Council of State, and approval by Parliament. Judicial Council is out of the way. And are we saying that that is a non-political process of appointment? Huh? So if you accept that as good enough, the removal process, even you must have 2 Supreme Court judges.
Yes, it's in there.
Yes, in there, which is a check on, the process. But as for so you have judicial control there. But as for the appointment process, it's all political. And so that one is sweet to take. But this one, which even has 2 Supreme Court judges on it, is entirely political. I can't reason like that.
And now, anti-graft campaigners have urged leadership of the National Democratic Congress to name and shame persons within the party who are attempting to derail the fight against corruption by cutting deals to serve as a deterrent to others. Earlier, the NDC General Secretary, Fifi Kwete, sent a strong warning to party bigwigs engaging in such underhand dealings.
Some among us are busy trying to cut deals with people who are supposed to be prosecuted. Some are becoming conduits through whom pressure is being brought to bear on people who are supposed to do what is right. I'm not mentioning names. A time may come where we may have to.
Comments by the NDC General Secretary have raised a lot of eyebrows whether corruption fights under the Mahama administration is under siege. But Director of Legal of the party, Godwin Eduji Temeklo, maintains that there is nothing amiss since no individuals can interfere in the corruption cases being prosecuted.
Thankfully, you have an Attorney General who periodically updates the Republic as to what he's doing relative to some of these cases that are ongoing. That periodic updates is a novelty because what it does is keeps the public informed. It is also an accountability mechanism. Once you have informed the public now is adequately carried along. So at any point, they'll be asking you periodic questions. Where have you gotten to relative to this matter?
Private legal practitioner and member of the Operation Recover All Loot Task Force, Martin Pebu, commended the NDC General Secretary, but noted the responsibility should not lie on only party members.
41 of the Constitution 1992 enjoins all citizens to help fight corruption. We must protect public property. So what Fifi Kwete has done is living up to his Article 41 obligation. So let's all join in. If you find people cutting such deals, you two come out. Don't sit on it. Come out. Let's come out. If we had more people coming out, Ghana will make great strides in rooting out corruption and other forms of looting the public purse.
Co-chair of Citizens Movement Against Corruption, Adam Sinanu, however, indicated that aside naming and shaming, the party must investigate and further names for the requisite action.
I think that it will be good for them to review, and if they have some instances where it is clear, they should pass this on to the requisite agencies, anti-corruption and otherwise, who should take this on board, investigate, follow up thoroughly, and if persons need to be found complicit, the necessary legal actions and sanctions should follow.
There's growing pressure on the Attorney General and the Mahama administration to speed up prosecutions after the government launched its Operation Recover All Loose policy approach to the fight against corruption. So far, government has initiated about 5 criminal cases under the oral. Lodido Asari, TV3 News, Accra.
Concerns are rife over Parliament's inability to adopt the Committee of Inquiry's report on the vetting chaos, despite being advertised repeatedly in the order paper in the last sitting. The repeated instances of unsavory language and near brawls have left many wondering if the Speaker is not cracking the whip enough to ensure discipline among lawmakers. Christian Yale has the story.
This will remain as one of the ugliest scenes in modern history of Ghana's parliament, when some MPs ignored their status and chose to vandalize public property, marring the vetting of ministers in January 2025. The Speaker suspended 4 MPs but later reinstated them, after which a committee started probing the matter.
The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, in reading his statement on the floor, noted with grave concern the manner in which the reputation of Parliament is rapidly being tarnished by the actions of some members of Parliament.
But the report is yet to see the light of day. Despite featuring multiple times on the order paper in the last sitting of Parliament, it was not adopted.
Any member found culpable shall face the appropriate disciplinary actions as prescribed by the Constitution 1992, the Parliament Act of 1965, and the Standing Orders of Parliament.
In addition to that, Mr. Speaker, an adoption of a report of the Special Committee on the full-scale investigation into the event which occurred at the public hearing and appointment committee has also been lying on the order paper for far too long.
One would have expected the findings from that inquiry would be known nearly 9 months after the incident. But that's not the only incident. MPs on different occasions used their microphone without catching the Speaker's attention.
Honorable Nitiwul, you don't have the floor. Resume your seat. Please resume your seat.
Protests were made and some petitions submitted to demand the identity of this MP, but no update yet on that. Some believe that the indiscipline is getting out of hand, also because no member has suffered punishment.
It has to do with the attitude. So that is what they have transported into Parliament. A lawmaker, instead of making laws and you are breaking laws, and if you are severely punished, I don't think it will continue. I think it's a disgrace and it shouldn't happen in our young democracy.
Collins Dowda says there should be more engagement and compromise.
To have the caucuses respect one another and for the caucuses to engage before any decision is taken.
Confidently, I'm telling you, mark my words. I can even tell you that if we lose this election, I'll resign as a member of Parliament. I'm telling you, we'll win this election.
This recent comment by the New Job in South MP is another that raises a question about the conduct of legislators. A former MP for Subin Isaac Osei blames the loud silence by law enforcement agencies.
The first time that happened, nothing really happened. And so it gave people the impression that they can do what they want.
In the last sitting, a number of walkouts were staged, some at the slightest provocation, and instances of heated exchanges across the divide were dominant. In all this, some have questioned the Speaker's seeming inability to enforce discipline. But with the establishment of the National Integrity Awards by the Speaker, it is expected that there would be some sanity among the lawmakers who would also be rated based on their conduct and utterances. Christian Yale, TV3 News.
And that's it for the morning news. My name is Na Ashoko. Joseph Akable and I will be back with the rest of TV3 New Day. Just stay with us.
The Nido Obatampa promo is back again. Yes, here's your chance to win a fully paid family getaway in Nido's Obatampa More promo. Look inside your Nido 23-gram promo sachet for a code. Dial *380*11# on your phone's keypad and follow the prompts to win exciting
My attempt was to wear something, you know, that represents the Ghana flag, but I could only find yellow.
Okay, I have the green.
You have the green.
I have the black as well.
Yeah,
so the black star.
We'll take it like that.
Yeah, it's working.
Go Ghana, go! The red is the blood.
Yeah,
the red is the blood. My lipstick, yeah.
Yeah.
My lipstick. Wow, it's a lovely Tuesday morning. We were hoping, praying for a win, and by the grace of God, no matter how we got the win, no matter our sentiments about the quality of game, a win is a win.
Yeah, a win is a win.
A win is a win.
It's all that matters. Yesterday I said that I wanted us to win by 4 goals to 1, but substantively we just wanted 3 points.
Yes.
And this was why people were concerned, because in the game against Chad, which was a much easier game, we expected them to pick the 3 points. They couldn't do that. But in the much difficult game against Mali, they picked the 3 points. I think that is all that matters. I've seen a lot of people who are not too excited. They are complaining about the performance. They want Ghana to have dazzled and beaten up Mali comprehensively. They are saying that, well, the goal was a lucky goal. It's not a lucky goal in football.
Look, if they hadn't won, what would we have said?
Yeah.
It's a game of chance, really.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there's a strategy, there's a tactics, there's a quality of play, there's all of that. But at the end of the day, it's a game of chance. Anything can happen. And so a win is a win, a goal is a goal, and we're celebrating. We're celebrating straight up.
How was the mood at the stadium?
I could not go.
Oh.
I could not go.
I could not
go. I was so brokenhearted. Lydia Fossing also put out her ticket. She also could not go. Like we were just really brokenhearted. Plans, you know. It happens.
Yeah,
but
I think the attendance was quite good.
Yes.
At the start, when they started the match, I realized there was a part. I think the part behind the Ghana post was virtually empty, but by halftime, the entire stadium was full, and everywhere all the seats had been taken. At least from what we saw on TV, and so it was very good show of support. And even the coach for Mali had indicated that he said Ghana played with 12 or 13 men because of the supporters who were present at the stadium to cheer on the Black Stars.
But he has some interesting things to say, talking about how he expected, you know, the way he expected.
He talks a lot.
The quality of play from the Blacks. And I'm like, you just lost. Can you just please? You just lost.
He said the way we were...
Can you please keep quiet?
He said the way we were playing is like we were afraid of them. You know, when we were kids, when they are fighting with someone, they are going back. Or they tell you that I'm going into Kwani then anyone
like cross this line.
They said Ghana was going back. Ghana was going back.
But seriously, what rights does he have to make such commentary about the Black Stars? When he had just... I was watching him and thinking...
I mean, what matters is that we've beaten them.
Who has asked you? But what matters, of course, is that a win is a win. A win is a win. So,
so I guess we'll be talking about the Black Stars on the call. But what do you have for us on big issue later on?
Yes, on big issues later on. We're going to be talking about some complaints by traders, retailers, and the
GIPC law.
Yes, the GIPC Act, and the things which are reserved for Ghanaian traders to trade in, and things that foreigners can also trade in. We have seen that the lines have been blurred for some time now. You go to the market, you see Nigerians engaging in petty trading, which is supposed to be reserved for Ghanaian traders. So Guta is speaking, and they're asking that we find a balance between foreign investment and encouraging foreign investment, and also the rights of local traders. We're going to go into it in more detail on big issues today. Also, the president is set to have a media engagement with the press tomorrow. We're going to be looking at that, what that does for a democracy like ours, how it's been done in the past, and the results, if any, it has yielded. We're going to be discussing those on big issues today.
Yeah, I found that very interesting. You know, the former president, Nana Dankwa, when he took over, he actually promised to do it twice a year.
Yes.
He did it for a few years, and they eventually stopped doing it. For most parts, there was no opportunity for a media encounter for the journalists to have an opportunity to engage with the president. Something that was the norm many years ago by various presidents, at least once a year. He promised to do it twice, and even once became a problem. So it's good that the presidency is bringing that particular aspect of our national life back.
And actually, we've seen a lot of engagements between government and the media in this administration. We see
the accountability series as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we'll look at it in more detail. and see exactly what the plans are moving forward after tomorrow's engagement. Whether we're going to be seeing it more often or, as and when is needed. We'll get into it. We also have an exclusive with Justice Atuguba.
Oh, yes. The retired Supreme Court judge, very famous judge. He presided over by our very first election petition. He's been, I think it's an interesting back-to-back. We heard from a former retired Supreme Court judge, a former Chief Justice actually, Sophia Kufu, last week, and this week we are hearing from Justice Atuguba, who disagrees with some of the things that the former Chief Justice said. He thinks that the process was fair and constitutional. So it's one that you all should look out for. Very interesting conversation between Beatrice and Justice William Atuguba.
But isn't it interesting how we're hearing more often now from big wigs, so to speak, in the judiciary, and now more than ever? Is that correct to say?
To an extent, just that it's been a number of regular voices. I mean, Justice Atuguba has been speaking for a while now. I mean, for me, I think that once nothing really stops you from commenting on national matters, especially when the public discourse is for public nature, it's only fair that those who matter and those who know about these matters more than some of us are ahead on it. So
it helps shape
nice
the conversations better, and it helps us understand some of these things, because they are otherwise shrouded in secrecy, so to speak. If you are not an active participant or member of the judiciary, you might not know how some of these things work. But these conversations are great to help our understanding, and Beatrice Edu will bring us that exclusive on this show today. But let's start with this morning. We're discussing the performance of the Ghana Black Stars yesterday in that match against Mali. What is your general assessment of their performance? Let us know. Are you on the side of a win is a win, or on the side of our boys need to get up and do better? You can call us and let us know your thoughts. It's time for This Morning. And it's time for This Morning. But if you haven't cashed out, yes, you can do so now. Dial *439#, *439#. Follow the prompts and win big. Today, how much do I have? I'm giving away 1,000 to, let me see how many people. All right, I'm giving away 1,000 to a number of people this morning. I've got 10,000 Ghana cedis. And so 10 of you will get 1,000 cedis each. Dial *439# now. And as we have been told, now is the best time to play because, people are not awake yet. So you can play. The more you play, the higher your chances of winning. And you can win 1,000 cedis. You can play play about 30 times. You can play as many times as you want. But my recommended number of times to play is 30. All right? Play about 30 times, dial *439#, and you can win 1,000 cedis on the show. I've got 10K to give out. In fact, should I give 2K to 5 people? I'll consult our financier, Roland Walker, who isn't here with us today. And depending on what he says, we will do so. All right, it's time for This Morning. And we have a first caller joining us already. Augustus? Hello? All right, we lost him there, but you can also call us. The phone lines are active. We're talking about the performance of the Black Stars yesterday against Mali. We won. We have scored, or we have registered at 3 points. So now we're at 19 points, I believe. Yes. We had 19 points.
Yes, 19.
Yes.
Madagascar have 16 points and Comoros 15, with Mali having 12 points now. So, we go into the final round of 2 matches in pole position to qualify. We just have to pick at least 4 points. I was listening to some statistics from Oreku. We just need 4 points from a possible 6. So 1 win, a draw, or we just can pick 2 wins and we are through to the World Cup and we can get our visas and go.
They say you should unlock your privacy settings on your social media. All right. We have another caller joining us. Hello? William, are you with us?
Hello.
William, good morning. You're our first caller for today. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
William, what's your assessment of the Black Stars' performance?
It was not all that bad. It was not all that bad. But the only problem is that the coach have to work on the players. Like they shouldn't, if they're having a match to play, they shouldn't be afraid. It was a time they were afraid of the Mali. So it was more, they would have equalized that goal. So I thought the coach have to do something for that.
Okay.
And we are happy about what they are doing. I think now they are doing better.
Okay. All right, William.
Thank you for that.
We appreciate the call. Thank you. You can also call us. What's your assessment of the Black Stars' performance? Are you happy? Of course, we secured a win. So that's a good thing. But the conversation has gone a little, beyond that, beyond the win, to the quality of play, to the attention the Stars gave to the match, to their performance in the first half in particular. And even the coach on the Mali side was commenting about our performance.
There's this
we
message
have some comments coming in.
From Mahogany Nino. It says, there's always a drawing board. We never see the Black Stars. Must go back to it and improve their performance. So there's always a drawing board we never see. The Black Stars must go back to it and improve their performance. And Philip Abuchi also says, good morning to TV3. Ghana Black Stars did a good job yesterday. At least we had 3 points. I salute Mr. Gustav Kweku Dovlo. That's another message that has come on our social media handle there. One more. Okay, this one is a birthday wish. We'll come to that one later. But those are the comments that have come up.
All right. Let me read a couple of messages also coming in. Let's talk to this caller. All right, let me come to my messages. Good morning, Na. I told you that the Black Stars were going to do a good job, didn't I? No, you did not. But let me read the rest of the message. The point is that all wins in football are good wins. There are no such things as lucky wins. Can people just cut them a slack? What's all this? All right. I agree with you. I think a win is a win, really.
Yeah, a win is a win. I mean,
if they had lost, we would have been sitting here very upset with them, saying that they couldn't secure, they missed all the chances. Well, they took one of them and they have won.
Yeah, I remember the 2010 Black Stars. The team was famously christened One Goal Project.
Yeah.
We went all the way to the AFCON final with one goal. When I look back, I look back with excitement. But back then it was a difficult watch, very difficult, because we watched the game on tenterhooks, then one goal, then we are through. Tenterhooks, one goal, we are through. But when you look back on it, we crave for such performance from the current Black Stars team. So what sometimes matters is the win, especially in a qualification series when you just want to make it to the World Cup. And that's what we are asking. I mean, we are not going to, I don't think anyone is sweeping under the carpet the fact that the team is problematic, but we can still celebrate them nonetheless.
Well, your brother is on the line.
Yes, good morning, Joseph.
I'm fine.
Yes, Joseph.
TV3, the wondrous things you are doing for us.
Thank you.
Yeah, but concerning the match yesterday, in fact, they did well. Black Stars did well, but it was the other match they didn't just do anything. Like we should have won the last match we played before this one, the chat. But yesterday, I give thanks to God that they did well. Yeah. So, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Joseph, there. Also making a point about a win being a win. Yeah.
He says we did well.
Yeah. I mean,
he was comparing it to the match against Chad.
Against Chad, yeah. I think many didn't like that particular game, so it's normal. Yeah.
No, we would have had 6 points. So by now we would have been at...
We would potentially have just needed one more.
Yeah, we would have been at 18.
Yeah.
So we needed a win there.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can also call us. Let us know what you think. I read some of your messages coming in on the Black Stars game yesterday. Nah, how many times did I call you? Once. All right. The Black Stars did well, but it's time for Otuado to sit up and stop being so arrogant. He has to calm down and listen to the people of Ghana. Sometimes people without professional eyes are able to see the flaws in the team. Otuado, listen up, all right? Good morning, Na, and to Joseph. I was really hoping to see your videos from the stadium. I know, I'm brokenhearted too. But the point is, Ghanaians really showed up for the Black Stars yesterday, and all the ambience and support in the stadium helped them secure that one goal. If Ghanaians hadn't shown up, I think the results would have been different. Let's continue to show the Stars love. All right. Daniel from Tabanli has just joined us. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, Daniel. How are you?
Pardon?
How are you?
Thank you. How are you too?
I'm great, thank you. What's your assessment of the Stars' performance yesterday?
My problem is that... thank you. My problem is that...
Can you turn down the volume on your radio or your TV?
Whatever national team is playing, no TV in Ghana can show us the match.
TV3 are doing well. But you have never been showing us any match, concern Ghana match or any match for us to see live. GTV Sports can also us. Why? But the Black Stars they have done well yesterday.
Okay.
We wish ourselves all the best. We should win another 2 games. That's what we can qualify.
All right. We shall win those 2 games. And yesterday we made sure to bring you up to the minute updates. Oreku, Ampofu, and the team were in studio, updating us on everything that was happening, and also bringing us the post-match analysis.
I saw a funny tweet that if the multi-choice crackdown had happened, Ghanaians would have been in trouble. But that's just by the way. You can still call in and share your views about the Black Stars match, how the game panned out. Okay, Awal from Bimbila is joining us on the line. Good morning, Awal.
Yeah, good morning.
How did you find the match watching from Bimbila?
Yeah, we thank God we got a win. Except that the play of the Black Stars was nothing to write home about. Every time I think watching that match should not be happy, considering where we are going into the World Cup. What it should be doing is that the players should be playing very well, so that you know that even when you get to the World Cup, when you meet anything, you'll be able to battle it out with them. But yesterday, what we saw from the Stars is not that good. We just thank God that we won, and that will enhance our chances of qualifying. I think that's the only good thing I can say about the game. But their play was not good at all.
All right. Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right. Interesting views there. I think we can do some other messages that have come through. This one here from Senia Kankubata. You said that if I was Kudus, I would stop killing myself for the team. Why was Inaki benched throughout? Poor scoring ability. That is what you're saying there. Another one here says, good morning. I'm happy with the win. Okay, yesterday. Okay, this is still about the television issue. Okay, so that is it in terms of the messages that have come through so far.
All right. Now, we should stop celebrating this win and focus on how we can tactically improve the team. The truth is, this was just a lucky win. While we agree that we're happy to score the 3 points, what will happen to the remaining 6 points we need? Let's sit up and be better instead of just focusing on we have won.
There's
Good
this
morning,
message from
Joseph.
Prince Henry Koforidua. He simply says, Otu Ado must go.
Oh,
hey, yeah, this time.
Okay.
Prince, right.
Good morning, to you and Joseph. I'm very happy about yesterday's win, but some of us were highly disappointed in the Ghana TV stations. All right, Courage, we are sorry. All right. Lawyer Joseph Okine says, I told you so. No, Nanoko. All right, Kamal is joining us from Tamale. Good morning, Kamal.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
I send my greetings to Na and the two parents.
We respond.
Hello.
Yes, we respond. Go ahead.
I just want to congratulate the Ghana Black Stars for the wonderful performance they exhibited last night. But at least they should sit up. We are going for the World Cup, and the World Cup is not just like Africa.
Okay.
So they should boost their performance so that next time they come, at least they will do something and claim the World Cup for Ghana. I pray for Otuado and everybody in the team. And my friend, the minister, Kofi Adam, I greet him this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. All right, I'll read more messages coming in this morning. This is from Prince Harry in Koforidua. All right, I think you read his message saying
Yeah.
Otuado must go.
Yeah.
And then Nene Gaddafi from Ilo Krobo says, good morning, Nam. Please, the performance of the Black Stars was not encouraging, but still there is hope. Coach Otuado needs to up his plans for the team moving forward. And I agree with you. All right. This one says, hey, what? I'm not sure what that means, but thank you for sending that through. And good morning, Nam. As for the Black Stars, like Bill Ishen said yesterday, You must eat before watching the game because the first half just had me at the edge of my seat the entire time. It got to a point my husband had to turn off the TV because I was shouting too much. They can't keep playing with our feelings. We need to watch the match knowing that we are going to watch a good game. And even if we lose, we would know that the Black Stars played well. This sort of play only hurts people with high blood pressure. And that's from Nameli, texting us from Chiblo. All right, let us know what your thoughts are about the Black Stars performance yesterday. We have a caller joining us now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name, sir?
I'm Ivan from Medina. How are you too?
I'm fine, thank you. What's your assessment of the Black Stars performance yesterday?
Well, I think this is just a lottery because we have tested his prowess, and we know that he cannot perform. In fact, he should put everything down and just go. Because even if we qualify the World Cup, look, these pretty teams, these young teams, you can't beat them. And you are going to meet teams like Spain, you are going to meet teams like Germany and other. You can't, please, we don't want to have any heartbreak again, please. You should go. The Black Stars also, they are not putting a lot of energy. I mean, their play is too low. I mean, they have to lift up their game. Okay. But the time of a hard week. So that's all I can say.
All right, thank you. Thank you for calling us. He says the Black Stars need to step up. And I think that's something that a lot of Ghanaians would agree with. The Black Stars need to step up because the World Cup itself, the teams we are going to meet.
Yeah, I mean, they are big teams globally. And I mean, the last time we were in the World Cup, we couldn't make it out of the group. So it's an opportunity for us to definitely go. But I think we should take it a step at a time. I mean, what we've seen mostly with the qualifying matches is eventually once we qualify, the team we assemble is slightly different from the one that played in the qualifying match.
Why?
Why? I mean, it happens. I mean,
why not put your best foot forward the entire time?
Some of the players, we simply can't get them around this time. I mean, there are some players who are looking from the fence. They want to play in. I know Callum Hudson-Odoi has been trying to get into the England team. There's Edin Ketia as well from Crystal Palace. All those are players who, I mean, I know it brings back the whole sacrifice thing into conversation. But all these are players that when we qualify for the World Cup, Ghana becomes sort of attractive and they would want to come and bask in that glory to an extent. So the team may improve or it may be worse off. You never know, but people should just calm down.
There's also the importance of playing together for some time to create that team cohesion.
Oh, national team there.
Before they go to the World Cup. Because if you stay at your club level and then those who are here play, and then when it's time to go to the World Cup after you've qualified, then we have all these players coming in. They would not have formed that bond with the players.
I agree.
And so it's difficult to expect exciting play or even quality play from them because that team cohesion is also important.
I agree with you totally. I agree. But I mean, what we want people to do is basically to just be a bit calm. I think what matters now.
Look, the Black Stars, when we talk about the Black Stars, the word calm
what we want.
cannot be used.
We don't want to qualify for the World Cup, or we want to play well and not qualify, or we just want to qualify. I think I would just want to qualify.
Yes.
Yeah, when we qualify, we can discuss all the other things. Right now, we just want to qualify.
We just need those 6 points.
Want to qualify.
Who are we playing next? We have to wait until.
I think it's Chad and Comoros. I don't know in which order those games will be played. Yeah.
Our next game is Comoros. Yeah. Well, let's talk to this next caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Now, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you too?
I'm good. My name is Peter T.
Peter T.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Yesterday I told you you are happening to do a film for cookie cheese. So I told you yesterday. You look more beautiful. Thank you. Now you know what?
Yes, sir.
Let me seize the first opportunity to say good morning to Alaji. Yeah, okay, hard-working man, and then also Madi, National Democratic Congress. He is the operation director there. And then also Alaji Raouf and Alaji Abba. Then Noga, Honorable Noga. Greetings to you. Now you know what?
Tell me.
Ghanaians must be careful the way they sing praises to Black Star after they won the match yesterday. Because Black Star, not that they don't deserve praises, they deserve praises, but they themselves don't like praises. The moment you begin to praise them, don't expect anything good the next match.
Really?
They can lose. Yeah, they can lose it. They want criticism that will affect their ability of performance. So they should be careful.
So?
Yes, because look, yesterday a friend was calling me. I was at the stadium, but I didn't go to the stadium to watch the match because I didn't want to face a second time disaster like it's happening to Chad. Because look, it's only Black Star who are giving Chad 1 point, not any other team. It was Black Star. And if we could continue to be watching this performance by our team. Look at yesterday, even I didn't watch the match because I was in love it. I didn't watch the match. But hey, people, criticism yesterday about their performance was loud. And we cannot continue to be watching football match this way. So please, the coach also, there's one thing about him. He must be able to up his game because in fact, I don't know. We have all the players, the Semenyons, the Kudus, the Coach, they are all there. Pate, and they are all there. But you see, the performance always that we which is below average. We cannot afford to be, watching this all the time. So thank you very much.
Peter T, thank you so much for calling us. And
so our next game is actually against Central African Republic on 6th October.
Okay.
And then the final match will be against Comoros on the 13th of October.
Where are we playing?
Comoros is here in Ghana against Central African Republic. It's in Central African Republic.
Okay. All right. But
so 1 home, 1 away, we should be able to pick 6 points.
6 points, 3-3.
3-3, and we are good.
1 goal project or?
Oh, we want 6 points.
We want 6 points. We don't care
even
whether
if they do half goal project and we get 3 points, we are fine.
Black Stars. See, we want to wear our Black Stars jerseys with pride, and the euphoria in the country when the Black Stars are doing well is something that I don't know. Nothing else gives us this. Even Christmas doesn't give us that feeling in the air. We're a football nation. We love our Black Stars. We love football. So though we criticize the Black Stars, it's because we want them to do better. So those of you who are saying we should just keep quiet and celebrate the win, it is for good reason that we criticize, because the quality of play is also important. While we want the wins, we are going to be facing some very difficult world champions at the World Cup. And so if we qualify, we need to go with a team that will bring us wins. All right, so we have another caller joining us. Hello?
Good morning,
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Alhaji. I'm fine, thank you.
Tegeya. Gombian. First of all, let me send my greetings to Shemi Mamuse and Alaji Alata and Honorable Chief of Staff, D.S. Zebra, and Chairman Ofuso Ampofo, an entire worker for the TV3, Nelson Roland, and Cookie T. Yesterday, why did I tell you? I told you win to me, but I don't get the line yesterday because I get the line system and but it didn't with my call. Now, when you look at the Ghana Black Star who qualify, no doubt about Ghana Black Star qualify. But if we qualify to go for World Cup, we need to perform well and prove people wrong in this country because people is happy for Ghana Black Star how they are playing now. But if we can proceed, we need to look at that things and settle some things in the Ghana Black Star and give them fame. That will let and they will play well for the country, for our mother Ghana. But yesterday, Joda, you do something, and I don't happy at all. If we say and they make a petition, you need to be happy and pray for their team, and they should continue winning. And why are you doing that? And he's a boy. You see, we shouldn't do that into our self. Because if you do that, people who and they started talking something about this. And so we need to look about how we can build the Ghana Black Star. Maybe we will continue win the cup. But this year, 2025 Africa World Cup, we will win it. No doubt about that. Ghana will be a first country who win the World Cup. Ghana will be a first country, African country, win the World Cup.
I like
so
your.
Let's keep on playing for the country.
I like the
Thank
confidence you're reposing in the Black Stars, and we pray for a commensurate performance. Thank you so much, Alaji, for calling us. You can also call us, and if you haven't cashed out this morning, please dial *439#. I've got 10,000 Ghana cedis. I'm giving it to 10 of you, so play now and win big on the show. I'm going to read some more messages coming in from you this morning. My brother Rizni Amakwe, watching from Teshitiblo, says, Allah, football analyst. I'm here watching you live. All right, well, thank you for sending that in. And we have to go now to the studios of 3FM as Johnny Hughes is on standby with Johnny's Bite.
And I start, they comfort me. Thou prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Tuesday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. Today's the 9th of September. Let me say a very big belated birthday to Mr. Moses Mingle. Yesterday was your good day, and September bonds are special. If you're born in September, feel proud about yourself. Also, a very good morning to Chief Superintendent Obing of the MTTD, Ghana Police Service. Good morning to you. We celebrate you this day. Mr. Isaac Mensamuda, good morning to you. We celebrate you this morning, this day. Now, let's say thank you to all our friends who spend time to listen to us, who spend time to enjoy with us, who spend time to share our content, whether they be drivers or they be masons, they be carpenters, or whether they be at NEMA 441, wherever you are in the country of the Republic of Ghana, we salute you. Let me say thank you also to Sonar Fashions in Tamale, and you have to call him so you get something special for yourself. 0246 590 162. That's 0246 590 162. Again, 0246 590 162, and get something special. Tomorrow is the Big Damba Festival, and it's happening at the Bog Palace, and God willing, yes. So Bona Bogu Zosimlina, Johnny Hughes will be there. Put the thing up. Now we will be at the mercy of our chief, Bonatia Salifu II. That's the man himself. And then our Queen Mother is coming all the way from the United States of America, and we'll have also the Damana and the dancers and the singers, and everybody will be there. You want to support? I entreat you to do so. 059 100 3855. That's 059 100 3855. It's going to be fire because the Damba Festival is big indeed. Now, on the 22nd of September, there's also going to be the 3FM Afro Connect. Kunzo is switched on, and it's going to happen at the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. 100 Ghana cedis only. You want to purchase a ticket, *725 *2226 hash, *725 *2226 hash, and you get a ticket. You get all access. If you want to be a vendor, and you should be a vendor because it's a one big space of selling. 053 1100927. That's 053 1100927 and 053 2200927. You should call and connect yourself. Roland Walker, good morning to you this morning. Yes, I know that you are chilling somewhere, but good morning to you, Roland Walker. Yes. Now, Kuzo, where do we begin? Show me the first item. Let's begin. Uncle Chris Ashon, good morning to you. Now, report of investigation into the source of deterioration of raw water quality at Kwenyaku Headworks submitted to the managing director of the Ghana Water Company Limited. That's the great one, former MP for the Abuja Apostle, what's it called? Damongo. Yeah, and we call him the great one. He's the great one indeed. By the regional chief manager, Ghana Water Company Limited, Central Region, Cape Coast, delivered on the 7th of September 2025, 2 days after my birthday. Let's read the report together. On 27th of August 2025, Kwenyaku Water Treatment Plant recorded abnormally high turbidity beyond the treatment plant's capacity. This necessitated the shutdown of the Kwenyaku treatment plant on Monday, the 1st of September 2025, to safeguard public health. Investigations, including drone surveillance and field visits, confirmed that some activities suspected to be illegal mining, galamsey activities upstream of the Ayensu River around Enum Apapam, that's coordinates, they've written their signs there. I did signs, but I won't read it. Something degree in the eastern region, where that's the root cause. Water samples were taken along the river course
And you're welcome back. You're watching TV3 New Day. It's now time for Big Issues, where we talk about the major issues making the rounds in the news. And today we're going to be focusing on two main issues. But before we get into it, if you haven't cashed out, please dial *439# now. *439# is the number to dial. I've got 10,000 Ghana cedis to give out to 10 of you this morning. So dial *439#, select option 2 for TV3 and win 1,000 cedis for you and 9 of your friends. So call 9 of your friends and all of you should text now, *439#. That's how you win big on the show this morning. And by 10 a.m., I would have given away all of the 10,000 cedis. And I'm told this is a good time to play because some people are still asleep. So play now, and by the time they wake up, you'd have won. All right, *439#. That's the number to dial. Now, this morning, we're going to be considering an ongoing debate between GUTA, the Ghana Union of Traders Association, and foreign investors regarding some businesses or trades, if you like, that these foreign businesses are involved in nowadays. What the position of the law is on the trades that foreigners can indulge in according to the GIPC Act, and what they are not allowed to do and what they are actually doing. Now, we're going to have this conversation while trying to properly balance the need for foreign investment in this country with the interests of our local traders. Yesterday, my colleague George Quenin spoke to some of them, and they expressed a lot of pain. If you listened to them, we'll bring you that video shortly. They expressed a lot of concern about how some foreigners are applying trades in the country, selling things which are otherwise of inferior quality at so low prices, while the Ghanaian traders who are selling good quality wares are pegging their prices at, the regular market rate. But as you can imagine, buyers would consider the cheaper ones, and it's affecting local businesses. And foreign businesses are doing so well. They mentioned the China Mall, Chinatown, and other places. They are rising and increasing their presence in the country to the detriment of small local businesses. Now, the GIPC Act specifically sets out in Section 27(1) the various trades that are preserved for only Ghanaians, citizens of Ghana. We'll get into that, and we have just the right people to have this conversation in studio. Also, tomorrow, the president is set to have a media engagement tomorrow, Wednesday, the 10th of September. The president will meet the press. We're going to consider what this press encounter would mean to us as a growing democracy. We'll look at some of the other encounters that have been held in the past and the results that they yielded, if any. So these are the things we're going to be talking about today. You're invited to be a part of the show. With the hashtag TV3NewDay, you can connect with us online on X and other social media platforms. And if you're watching our live stream on Facebook, please feel free to leave any comments in the comment section, and I'll be sure to read as many of them as possible as I go. And I entreat you to keep your language very civil this morning so that we can all have a good conversation. In studio with me is Dr. Sami Aye, Presidential Aide, Government Communications. Morning, sir.
Good morning, Now.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
By God's grace, we are good.
We're good.
We are managing.
Are we ready for tomorrow?
Definitely.
All right,
Definitely.
we'll get into that. We'll get into that when we get to that. Also in studio this morning, we have Simon Maji, the CEO of the GIPC. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Now.
Did I pronounce your last name right?
Yes, you did.
All right.
A little close, but
a little close. What's the actual pronunciation?
It's Maji.
Maji?
Yes.
Not Maji?
No, Maji.
Okay,
yes.
I was brophilizing it.
Oh, well, that's okay. We'll take that.
All right, sir. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Also joining us on the show this morning is Dr. Josiah A.M. Koba, former principal lecturer, GIMPA, and private legal practitioner. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Now.
Great to have you.
Thank you.
So we're going to be looking at what the law says, what we are supposed to do, what the GIP Act says, what is supposed to be the case, and what is actually happening. And then we'll try to find a good balance between all of it. But first, did you watch the Black Stars match yesterday?
I mean, I was here. So.
I didn't.
You didn't watch it? Why?
because my pressure goes up.
Oh, my days.
So
oh, dear.
Yeah.
Well, you and many Ghanaians.
Yeah, other people watch it in my household and inform me.
So they watch and then they come and tell you. Yeah. And you also listen to the post-match analysis?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right.
We thank God we had
a win.
A win.
A win is a win. Are you positive about our qualification to the World Cup?
You can't be otherwise.
All right.
You can't be otherwise. We need to win the next match. And,
we need to win the next two matches, actually.
Yeah, certainly, yeah.
All right. And you?
I was here, but I was following, so congratulations to the team. I think we just need a win and a draw to...
Yes, we need 4 points.
Yeah, 4 points,
yes.
And so I'm very hopeful that we'll do that. We'll add some fasting and prayers.
Yeah, the Lord will do it.
Amen.
Sammy, did you watch?
Unfortunately, no. I think I was also in the same situation as back here.
Your pressure?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
We're all afraid that...
Oh, Sammy, you're a very, very, very
yes, but you know,
young man.
Yes, but you know the state of our team now. Even though we are all...
What is the state of our team?
We are all hoping that we'll bounce back the way we used to be some years ago.
In the days of Michael Essien and Asamoah Gyan.
Yes. So anytime the Black Stars are playing, we'll be sitting on tenterhooks.
But you know, even at that time, we used to criticize the Black Stars.
Yes.
You remember what Asamoah Gyan went through in the hands of Ghanaians?
Yes, but at the time,
it was good.
Take down bigger nations and what have you. So
than Chad.
Exactly. So
all right.
You know, there's a difficulty. We are all hoping that.
Fingers crossed. All right. Anyway, back to the matter on the table. I would like us to begin our conversation by first listening to some of the traders at Abosokai. My colleague, George Quaining, had an interaction with some of them. Let's take a look.
And Ghanaians will go to the same market, will buy the same thing. But mind you, from Nigeria, from overseas to Nigeria at the port, the percentage is 15%. Then they will use cargo through Togo, through Benin to Togo to Ghana. They spend 3%. It makes 18%. But when you go to the port, our port, the percentage is 55%. Interest rate in Nigeria, less than 20%. Ghana is 30 to 40%. Cote d'Ivoire is 7.5%. So clearly, these people, we cannot compete with them.
This Nigeria, they make market are very simple for us. Ghanaians, they bought it, they put a higher price. So what the issue now they are doing is not that we need to see them to talk to them. What the Nigerians, they are not doing bad thing. You Ghana man, you buy 10 cedi, you put 10 cedi top.
Nigerians and Ghanaians will go to the same market, will buy the same thing. But mind you, from Nigeria, from overseas to Nigeria at the port, the percentage is 15%. Then they will use cargo through Togo, through Benin to Togo to Ghana. They spend 3%. It makes 18%. But when you go to the port, our port, the percentage is 55%. Interest rate in Nigeria, less than 20%. Ghana is 30 to 40%. Cote d'Ivoire is 7.5%. So clearly, these people, we cannot compete with them.
This Nigeria, they make market are very simple for us. Ghanaians, they bought it, they put a higher price. So what the issue now they are doing is not that we need to see them to talk to them. What the Nigerians, they are not doing bad thing. You Ghana man, you buy 10 cedi, you put 10 cedi top.
All right, and these are some concerns of traders who spoke to my colleague George Quaining there. Now, I would like us to, before we get into our conversation this morning, look at the Section 27(1) of the GIPC Act to just have some clarity on exactly what is reserved for Ghanaians only. What forms of trade are reserved for Ghanaians only? These include the sale of goods or provision of services in the market, petty trading, hawking, or selling of goods in a stall at any place, the operation of taxi or car hire service in an enterprise that has a fleet of less than 25 vehicles, the operation of beauty salon or barber shop, the printing of recharge cards for the use of subscribers of telecommunication services, the production of exercise books or other basic stationery, the retail of finished pharmaceutical products, the production, supply, and retail of sachet water, and all aspects of pool betting business and lotteries, except for football pool. All right. So these are reserved for people who are citizens of Ghana only. If you are not a citizen of Ghana, you are not allowed to participate in any of these enterprises. This is according to the GIPC Act 2013, I believe, Section 27(1). All right. So that's just to give us some context on what the law provides for. Now, I think we can get into our conversation now. I'll start with you, Simon. We know and we have seen our neighbors, people we buy from, people we interact with, who are not citizens of Ghana, or at least who is a citizen is a matter to be determined. But on the face of it, it appears that they are not citizens of Ghana. Some of our Nigerian counterparts, we've even seen some Chinese people in Lotto kiosks and so on. Exactly how is this happening, if this is what the GIPC Act provides for? But before you answer, let me introduce one of our guests who has just joined us, Dr. Ramsey Inusa. He's a communications team member with the Movement of Change. Movement for Change.
Movement for Change.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Great to have you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the
you're
show.
already in yellow. I should have also worn my yellow today.
You didn't bring your yellow book.
It's
not yellow anymore.
My yellow book is here.
But it's pink today.
It's yellow.
It's yellow.
It's still yellow.
Okay, all right. It's yellow. All right, but my yellow is in celebration of the Black Stars win.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I tried to balance it with a little red, a little yellow. I don't have a green, but Simon has balanced it out for me nicely on the show today. All right, Simon, now back to the conversation.
All right, now. So thank you and good morning to all our viewers or listeners, wherever they may be. I think we fundamentally have to break the issues down. You've stated the position of the law. The issue that we have is how come we have foreigners in the market. I would, move away from the characterization of our neighbors, trying to be very specific as to this person is a Nigerian or this person is of Asian descent or this person is not a Ghanaian. First, we have to understand that citizenship is a creature of law. And so who is a citizen of Ghana is defined in our laws. And you and I cannot, ordinarily determine all those who are citizens of Ghana.
On the face of it,
yes. So we have to be careful when we go on that tangent. The focus is that in every country, there are businesses and areas reserved for their citizens. Luckily for us, we do have same under the GIPC law. The challenge we have is about compliance and enforcement, right? So if you're selling in the markets, for instance, who controls the markets? Is it, the market leaders? Is it the district assemblies? Or is it the DCEs who have the benefit of the district security committees that can help them gather intelligence to deal with who is entering the market and who is doing what in the market, and how we need to control that so that our people are not affected. This is primarily where we are. And we've gone about this the same way over many years, and we are not achieving the results that we want to. I think, and I've had meetings with GUTA. As of last Friday, I met with executives of GUTA. And in our deliberations, it came out that we have to embark on serious education so that we educate our people about areas that are reserved for them.
You mean Ghanaians as
Ghanaians, citizens of Ghana.
Okay.
Areas that are reserved for them. If we are able to carry the people along, then we can resolve some of these issues because they become the gatekeepers themselves.
You think people are not well educated on
I think to a large extent, people are really not aware or informed about areas that are reserved for Ghanaians. So that's one issue. And then two, these things must be intelligence-led so that we don't go about harassing people unnecessarily. You may go to a shop and assume that the person is not a Ghanaian based on their look or how they speak to you. Mm-hmm. But if it's not intelligence-led, you end up, creating problems for all of us, not just for the country, but for yourself. Because they may be married to a Ghanaian, and then they could become citizens of Ghana. And Ghanaians also go outside and marry others, and they become citizens of those countries. And they are permitted to work in areas reserved for those citizens. So that's the first point that we need to deal with. We have to educate our people on it, which we are ready to do at GIPC. And then two, this has to be intelligence-led. And three, it should not be an issue of investors, foreign investors versus local investors. Because for areas reserved for Ghanaians, there can be no investor in that space apart from local investors. So anybody in that space is not an investor, so-called, in quote, as recognized either by the GIPC or by the law as we have it. So it is not an issue between investors who are local and investors who are foreign. I think we have to move away from that narrative. Otherwise, we'll not be doing ourselves a lot of good. As you know, Ghana is open for business, yes. But some areas have been carved out for Ghanaians, and we want our people to be aware of that. And we also want those who come into this country to invest to respect those boundaries, because it's important for our stability. We want to carry our people along in the economic drive and economic emancipation. And so that's what I want to say for now. As we go along, as other issues come up, we'll deal with that. But before I hand over to my other colleagues, we should be aware that there's a retail committee at the Ministry of Trade.
A retail committee?
Committee at the Ministry of Trade. Okay. Because this issue has been, for a very long time, as far as I can remember.
What is the committee set to do?
So the goal is to assist with some of these issues. And it has reps from GUTA, from the Ministry of Trade, Foreign Affairs, and all agencies that have a role to play.
And how long has this committee been in place?
Oh, for as far as I can remember.
Okay.
As these issues has been coming up, this committee has been there. And so the committee is looking at new ways to really resolve this issue. But from GIPC standpoint, we think that education, awareness, and leading a campaign to really, let Ghanaians know areas that are reserved for them will be the first point. And then the others will deal with that.
All right, let me come to our legal brains, yes. on the panel. So, what does knowing, if Ghanaians are informed, they understand, they know what's reserved for Ghanaian traders to, the enterprises that we are allowed to participate in to the exclusion of foreigners. How does knowing help us prevent the problem from a legal standpoint? Is it a crime for them to participate in these enterprises that they are not allowed to do? What are we supposed to do properly to ensure that we curb this from happening?
I don't want to avoid your question, but let me answer it in a roundabout matter.
All right.
In Ghana, for example, in our country, what is marriage? We have tried in over time to formalize traditional customary marriages, for example. This is perhaps one of the few countries I know of where you can get married and you don't inform the state that you're married. You go and see the father with a drink, and voila, you're married. And you can boldly state anywhere that this is my wife or that is my husband. When foreigners come here and take advantage of that, then makes us upset. We have a registration law for foreigners in this country, for example. All foreigners in this country are supposed to get, when you are going to stay here, being a ECOWAS citizen, going to stay here beyond a certain period of time, you're supposed to go to NIA and get registered.
Beyond what period?
I think it's 90 days.
Okay.
You're supposed to get registered at NIA. Many jurisdictions, marriages are supposed to be registered, especially if the spouse is going to enjoy citizenship or rights of a citizen through that process of marriage. From a legal standpoint, I think I agree with my colleague here that it's not that simple. It's not that simple. You cannot just look at someone or listen to their accent and determine that they are Ghanaian or non-Ghanaian. If a person has been married with a Ghanaian, they have 2 children, yeah. He might have a family in wherever he came from. But so far as we are concerned in Ghana, the way we do things, that person is married. And you can't just go walk in and determine. My brother here said our efforts should be intelligence-led. I agree with him. But I also think that we need to formalize a lot of our processes. A lot of people, I have clients who never knew that when you get married in the village, someone, if a handsome man like Doc here brings a drink to your father, you can go to the district assembly and register that so that...
The district assembly?
Yes.
To register the marriage?
Yes. And so that you as a spouse will have, the state can protect you, your rights.
How about those who are cohabiting and have had children?
Well, that's cohabiting. There is, you can get married, but there's case law that protects the rights of people in cohabitation. The fact of the matter is that we need to formalize a lot of our institutions, marriage. Somebody is from Togo. They've lived here years. They have one of their grandparents from Keta. They're Ghanaian. You see, and people don't understand. Our people don't understand. And this is a foreigner. So education, formalizing what we need to do. And then I was chatting with my brother here about the GIPC law. Maybe we need to be a little more deliberate, I think, about, for example, I went to the China Mall. Cheap ceramics, nice looking plates and cups, very cheap. I mean, compared to what you would get if I went to Dummy Market. And when you listen to the Ghanaian traders, they just can't compete because these guys are bringing in this stuff.
Is there anything that legally prevents them from doing this? Because when we listened to some of the traders just now in the video, they said, I think which is sold as 100 cedis, which is a reasonable price, will be brought in by some other foreign nationals at a much more inferior quality and sold at 20 cedis. Now, the market is the market. People would look for the most affordable option to them. And so while these foreign businesses continue to grow and thrive, they do so at the peril of Ghanaian businesses. And a lot of them are having to close down. And gradually, they see these foreigners overtaking the market. And you've mentioned some of the malls, and we see how they're doing. We see that they're springing up everywhere. Is there anything legally which prevents them from doing so?
I don't think so at this point. I think that in the past we've talked about things like import substitution and all those things. But I just mentioned ceramics. When I was driving back to my house, I was thinking, didn't we used to produce? I remember when I was a child, there was a ceramics factory in Salpon. What happened to that? When Christmas is approaching, you see, now I've seen the catapults, from, I don't know from where, being sold on the roadside. All those cheap toys, you buy them for your children, and in 3 days they are broken. Yes, but so we need to look at import substitution, toothpicks and those things. And I'm sure GIPC is working on that, However, for all this to trickle down to the level of the average trader and to the citizen, we need education, It's when you educate people, then, for example, they can properly recognize what are the loopholes in the law, for example, and actually be able to express diligently how they are affected by what is happening.
Do you see that there are loopholes in the law?
I think there are some loopholes.
What are they?
Well, the law says that this is reserved for citizens. So it's not the law per se, but who is a citizen? if I'm married to, my fourth wife is a Ghanaian woman from Teshi, and I've given her capital to open a shop. And really, that is my main business, but I'm running it through my wife. You can consider that a loophole.
Okay.
So there are things, and there are a lot of those things, the intersection of our traditional customary mores and the formal legal infrastructure. We need to do something so that we can flush out our laws and avoid people being able to skirt around it.
All right.
So education is important, and then I also think before that there should be interagency collaboration. Is the enforcement because it's a GIPC law? Is it a GIPC problem? Because there are a lot of people involved in it. Landlords. I heard one of the interviews. The landlords in my neighborhood, they are more likely to rent to
foreigners,
one of our neighbors, than to a Ghanaian.
All right.
So enforcement generally and all that, right.
We'll come to that. That's a very important point. But let me come to you, Sami. Can you clarify or let us know if there are any new or existing policies in place to protect the interests of local traders while still, working to attract foreign investment?
Oh, yes, of course. Just like the president rightfully said on his day of inauguration, Ghana is always open to business. See, the situation goes beyond the laws. I can read for you some of the provisions the laws have made. In fact, there's part of the law that says that other nationals can actually engage in trading and retail business unless there's a foreign equity of about $1 million and employment of about 20 Ghanaians. There's an avenue for foreigners to have joint ventures with Ghanaians with an investment of about $200,000. They are allowed to engage in manufacturing with an investment of about $500,000. But the difficulty has been the enforcement, just like CEO rightfully said. Who checks whether or not an investor is actually bringing in the $1 million that he or she is supposed to invest?
Am I right? The GIPC checks if the investor is actually bringing the $1 million or the 200,000 or the 500,000.
So how have we had a situation where other nationals have actually overwhelmed the retail business? So it means that over the years, so there's not an issue that is happening in only a few months.
Yes.
It has happened over a number of years. And these are the people competing with local indigenous businesses who are actually bearing the brunt of harsh systemic, bottlenecks. You heard or you saw the video. The businessman was saying that the import duties in this country are about 55% as compared to 15% in Nigeria, 7% in Cote d'Ivoire. And so they will prefer to go through Nigeria. The foreigners will go through Nigeria, use cargo 3%, get into Ghana. Definitely, right from the get-go, there will be disparities in pricing. Now you are looking at a situation where even interest rates for these countries are completely different, extremely high on the side of Ghana. From 2017 to 2024, we went as high as 35 to 40%. At the same time, when you go to Nigeria, they were doing about 17% averagely. The first time they got, one of the years, they peaked to 27%, but averagely, it was about 17%. And so a Nigerian businessman borrowing at a rate of 17.5%, and a Ghanaian borrowing at 35% or 40%, definitely the Ghanaian businessman has to rake or be able to pay his debts, thereby increasing the prices of his products. So the competition is there, not favoring Ghanaians and what have you. You understand the point? So there are many systemic problems that are not helping the Ghanaian businesses. In fact, in the last 8 years, we also witnessed collapse of indigenous banks. These banks were the major source of funding for many Ghanaian businesses. GN Bank, we saw the collapse of it. We saw how banks like Heritage Bank was closed down. We saw how banks like UT Bank, Unibank, they had difficulties. They were not able to operate. They had to be merged with other banks to form new systems. All these had serious effects on businesses in Ghana. You understand the point? And so, apart from the competition, we have our own system crashing local businesses.
Yes, but in terms of policy, my question is,
yes, so
are there any policies in place to protect the interests of local businesses? Because we see these foreign malls springing up, and foreign investment is welcome.
Yeah.
That is how many nations have thrived. But we also need to see the growth of local industry. All right.
Yes.
There were times where there were local malls.
Yeah.
I remember this. I've forgotten the name of the mall on the highway. It's no longer there. I mean, this is in the past. No, not Game. Game is foreign. But we had these, local big businesses which were growing and doing well. We don't see a lot of them anymore. When you go to the malls now, you see more of the foreign businesses. While this is good for economic growth, of course, foreign investment is welcome. We are not seeing the growth of local businesses as much at the same level or at the same scale. So my question is, are there any policies to ensure that, in terms of, I don't know, tax exemptions and so on?
Yes. So since we came, we have initiated certain policies. We see that gradually interest rates are going down. We are removing some taxes. Indeed, we have also implemented the Ejumera program, which has been implemented by a national entrepreneurship and innovation program, which will give financial support to businesses that, we think that they will be able to employ a lot of Ghanaians, to create employment for many young people in this country. We are also working through the 24 hours economy program to support local businesses and local industries in order to compete or be competitive with their foreign or other national counterparts. You understand?
So when Doc was speaking earlier, he spoke about many years ago, there was a ceramics company in Salt Pond. Many years ago, we had car manufacturing, in Ghana. There were so many businesses which could have, if they were still in existence.
So all of them
made Ghana we could compete comfortably with a lot of these new businesses that have come in. When you look at the malls we have now, you go into it, a lot of the shops over there, the big ones, are not Ghanaian. All right? They are foreign investors, these, you mentioned Game earlier, I think Game has left. But then all these other ones, they're doing well. It is in our interest to have similar competing shops and malls and businesses. It doesn't appear that we have, or if we do, not that many that are competing with these ones. Now, when we heard our traders earlier, they said these businesses are coming in and they're selling the things. Even if you go to the fabric manufacturing industry, we have our ATL, we have our GCP and so in Ghana. And then we have the ones that they are importing from China and other countries, which look similar. There are questions of quality and so on, but that's a different conversation. Now, these ones are brought into the market. They are much cheaper. They are selling. They are doing well to the detriment of the ones that are produced here. So how can we, from a government policy perspective, be able to empower these local companies to be able to compete comfortably?
Yes. So all boils down to the issue of support for industrialization. The fundamental point is that when you go to countries like China, businessmen borrow at a rate of 0% and 1%. Definitely, they will be more competitive. When So you can envisage a situation where Ghanaian businesses, through friendly economic conditions like reducing interest rates, giving financial support, managerial support, policy support to businesses to grow, when the Ghanaian businesses are able to produce quality materials that are of the same price as inferior materials from other nationals, nobody will go and choose an inferior material from other countries. You understand? So we must put in place measures to encourage local businesses and local industries to grow. That is why, since we came in the last 8 years, we are putting in place measures. I mentioned to you the reduction in interest rates. I mentioned to you support for indigenous banks. Do you know that since we came, NIB for the last 8 years had not posted their unaudited accounts? Since we came, we have done recapitalization of 2 billion Ghana cedis. In the last 6 months,
NIB?
yes, in the last 6 months, NIB alone has been able to make a profit of 74 million Ghana cedis. Imagine the number of businesses that can benefit from the profit that the NIB has made. So it all boils down to how friendly we make the business environment and how we make sure local industry and local producers benefit from it, so that they can be competitive internationally for the people of Ghana to benefit from. So there are laws. The GIPC law is exhaustive, even though it gives the necessary measures to local businesses. It also gives opportunity for foreign investment, just like I mentioned, in so many sectors of our trade life. You understand the point? So it is a process. Government definitely is putting in place measures to allow local businesses to thrive, just like I mentioned, reducing taxes and what have you. And so I believe that.
Well, I'll come back to you. But let's talk to Dr. Ramsey.
And so the call by Guta is a legitimate call. They are the very least protecting Ghanaian businesses, and they deserve our unalloyed support to make sure that Ghanaian businesses thrive, whilst also not endangering foreign investment. So we support them in that regard.
We'll come back to you to see exactly how we can make this support materialize, because their claims, like you said, are very legitimate. Dr. Ramsey, how does the movement for change view this, this tussle between Guta and foreign investors?
Well, let me say a good morning to your good self, and a good morning to our revered panelists, and a very good morning to the good people of Ghana. Indeed, the movement for change stands for an enterprise economy, an enterprise Ghana, and furthermore, a Ghana that is highly industrialized, and that its citizens will be able to enjoy the benefit of such framework, industrial framework. The tussle between foreign traders and then our local traders is something we need to look at carefully. And I'm glad the CEO of GIPC is also seated here, because many of the issues lie not only on their doorstep, but I believe that a lot of people have abused their outfits to get into the market and abuse the laws and take advantage of our weak institutions that are not able to enforce the existing laws. Now, on this table, we all have a common understanding that there are some fundamental issues that we need to tackle if we really want to solve these issues. And it all boils down to economics. In economics, they say there are 3 factors when it comes to economic productivity: land, labor, and capital. Today in Ghana, if you look at domestic capital flow to our private market, right, or SMEs, or the private sector, it's less than 12%. Our national capital flow to the private sector is less than 12%. If you look at our regional average, as far as the sub-Saharan African average is concerned, it's 33%. So we, as a country, are not even close to our regional average in the first place. What is contributing to that? As Dr. Ayi mentioned, the high interest rate on our loans. If a businessman comes from China or comes from Lebanon, as you know, our retail sector is being dominated by the Lebanese and the Indians and the Chinese. They borrow at quite less, right? The Chinese borrow at quite less. And they come here and we have to borrow at a huge cost. We cannot be competitive. And that is why the movement for change stance is that the central bank should really look at its monetary tightening policy. Over the years, they have been tackling the supply aspect, but they have to also look at the demand side. The formula they've been using is not really enjoying any benefit economically to us.
What's the formula?
They look at the supply side, that the more supply of money in the market, the more there will be inflation. But they also forget that the cost aspect, which is to do with the demand, also might affect their ability to tighten the money, the monetary supply. And so if they tackle the demand aspect, right, and look at the advantage against employment, the advantage against ease of capital supply to businesses, I believe that it can be able to loosen the burden of businesses when they are borrowing and reduce the interest on loans. Because take this, a country like China, you borrow at 1%, right? We know there's a huge capital flow in China for SMEs and all that. But inflation is still low. In Ghana, we tighten the supply and inflation is high. So indeed, if you look at only the supply aspect, it's not going to work out. And with all due respect, you see, we have a bunch of people that believe in theories. We have to also have our own theory as far as our economy is concerned. Because the macroeconomic indicators facing Ghana and the pressures facing our macroeconomy is quite different from these other countries. And so if you want to apply the formula the US uses and you use it in Ghana, it might not work. But we have to be innovative, because right now you cannot tell me that I want to bring inflation to 5%, so I'm going to increase the lending rates or the monetary policy rate. And at that is going to affect my ability as a businessman to borrow. That would also affect my ability to employ more people. So a lot of young people would not be employed. They have to factor that aspect. Now we come to competition. I know that in 2023, there was a competition law that was introduced in Ghana. We believe that this competition law should be in sync with the GIPC Act, and that it has to protect Ghanaian traders and businesses. Other countries have a protectionist policy. If you look at the US now, they are beginning to protect their market. China itself is quite protectionist, but people think that it's quite open. But the Chinese government has a framework that supports their own and protects their own from foreign investors. We, on the other side, would have to also look at that aspect. GIPC, over the years, under the SWA administration, didn't do well in terms of FDI. If you look at our FDI in 2023, it was the lowest in 6 years in our country's history. It fell by 10%. And so I believe that with the boss here, I believe that with all the good macroeconomic indicators that are coming in place, he should be able to really stimulate some form of investment. Because
you think the GIPC is too lenient?
I think they're too lenient. And this is what we all agree, that there should be a collaboration between our local governance system and then the GIPC. Because
there's a disconnect.
There's a disconnect. Because I believe that GIPC should be decentralized to our local governance system. Because every locality, every district has its peculiar investment opportunity. And so if GIPC is promoting investment, they should liaise with the local governance system and then see how best they can be able to transform every district and protect the Ghanaian business within the district so that they can use the DISEC to enforce the laws that we have. Like, for example, if you go to Circle today, there are a lot of foreign retailers there. But the law says that foreigners cannot engage in any retail. But you know the trick? They hide behind our own people.
And
our own people.
Of citizenship.
Yes, so I believe that if we want to also eradicate this thing, we Ghanaians, we have to be truthful to ourselves and be patriotic. Because most of these foreign investors hide behind us. We go front it, we register the company for them, and they come and operate it, and then we get a penny. So we believe that if government would work together with the local governance system, DISEC, to enforce its existing regulations and laws, I believe that this thing can be mitigated. And when we also come to the issue of inflation, if you look at the inflation of imported goods into this country, it's about 6%. But the inflation of locally manufactured goods is 8%. So that begs the question that, indeed, are we competitive? Any rational consumer would go for the imported goods because it's cheaper than the ones you produce locally. And that is why I'm saying that it does not make sense from an investment and economic perspective that a country like Ghana today relies on 70% on fossil fuel to generate electricity through our thermal power plants. It is not sustainable, it is not reliable. And that is why we members of Movement for Change are proposing the introduction of a nuclear thermal plant so that we can reduce the cost of production or manufacturing in this country. It's quite high. So until we tackle these fundamental issues, all these things we are talking about, even if you enforce the law, still, you cannot be competitive.
All right.
And then lastly, our regulatory agencies, the Ghana Standards Authority, they have to be up and doing. A lot of these foreigners bring in inferior goods and dump into our market, right? Because institutions are not really implementing the laws that are there. And most of these goods that come through the harbor do not even go through the standardized procedure.
Are you saying this on authority?
Well, we know that for a fact. You've seen even the former late president of good memory, Professor Evans Atamils, went to the port and he exposed a lot of rot in our ports. So it's a fact. A lot of these goods are cleared through, unconventional means, which we need to really deal with. And then to bring my submission to a halt, I believe that the time has come for the NDC government to relieve spare parts dealers of import duty. I believe that it is something that would help us. If you look at our roads today, our roads are not in good shape. And bad roads will always lead to bad cars. And you always have to change your spare parts. And so rationally, let us reduce or eliminate import duty on spare parts. And then let us also hedge the forex rates on the payment of certain strategic commodities when it comes to our import duties. So for example, if we are importing certain chemical mix to manufacture drugs in this country, we know that there's a huge deficit when it comes to our drug manufacturing in this country. And health is wealth. Health is key. Our local industries cannot compete with the foreign industries because we are not even investing in research and development in the first place. A lot is not even going in there. So we believe that they should hedge the import duty, the forex, within a 6-month period. So for example, if in January the exchange rate is 10 cedis to $1, and you are importing about, let's say, 1 metric tons of chemicals for pharmaceutical use, within January to, let's say, June, when you are clearing your goods, right, you pay the duty on that 10 cedis, even if the rate increases to 16. Do you get it? And that would reduce the pass-on inflation to the end consumer. Because the forex, the disparity or instability of our forex also affects the end consumer in terms of the price or inflation. And we've seen that under the SY administration. At a point in time, we were buying fuel at almost 17 cedis per liter, right? And this was as a result of our forex. So if they can also hedge it, I think that it will go a long way in also mitigating
you've made a lot of points. I think the ones that stand out for me are the central bank monetary policy, the lending rates to traders, and the collaboration between the GIPC and the local governance system and the regulatory framework. Does the GIPC work with or
DISEC.
I beg your pardon?
DISEC.
Yes, DISEC, and also the Standards Authority in making sure that these foreign investors who are bringing in their wares into the country are bringing wares which are, well vetted by the Standards Authority to make sure that they are quality products so that the pricing makes sense. Because when you think about the pricing, it begs the question, of the quality of the products that are coming in. which are moving our local traders out of business?
All right, thank you. And I think I'm enjoying the company and the conversation so far. And there are just a few misconceptions that we have to clear. Then we can get back. For instance, my colleague here spoke about us working with DISEC. So what the GIPC is doing, we've embarked on a project called Investment Opportunity Mapping. And what we are doing is to map opportunities in all the 261 districts of this country so that we can sell them to Ghanaian investors first and to anybody else who's interested, and also share it with our foreign missions. So that's one issue that we've been working on. We've been working on providing investment promotion page for other agencies as well. And also, point number 2 is that we are an investment promotion agency. I mean, our job is to promote the investment opportunities of this country. We do have a role to play in all of the things that you have said, and we've been playing that with all the other agencies. We are, however, of the opinion that when it comes to managing the market, and it comes down to the issue at hand, when it comes down to managing the market, this is within the control of the district assembly. We believe that the DCEs and others have a lot more control over who goes into the market and who can do what in the market. And that is where the collaboration is required. And we are prepared to provide the education on what the law says. And then they will monitor who comes in, who does what. And then we can somewhat resolve this issue. We cannot resolve it 100%, but we can resolve it to a point where it will be appreciable for Ghana.
Is this something that has ever been done, this collaboration, this discussion? I know that your core mandate is to promote foreign investment.
Exactly.
But of course, you don't do it to the detriment of local industry.
No.
Exactly.
But that's why the law is there. The law provides. So let me break this down. When it comes to the retail space, there are areas that are reserved for Ghanaians. Even if you bring in 2 billion, 1 billion, whatever amount of money, you cannot operate in that space. So anybody else that is in the market right now is illegal. You are not supposed to be there. It's reserved for Ghanaians. There's the high-end component of the retail, which is the building, the supermarkets, the malls, which is open to foreign participation. And like my colleague said, you need to bring in $1 million in cash or in capital goods. Right? The review of the new law would insist that you come in with the cash so that the BOG will see the amount instead of the capital goods. Now, that area is open.
That's the new position?
No, that's the new. We believe that.
It hasn't
No,
been
it's just
implemented.
review. Yeah,
Okay.
It's not been implemented yet. It has to go to Parliament.
So even if you bring goods which are to the tune of 1 million cedis, you still would have to bring $1 million.
Depending on the amount, we think that it will be appropriate to bring in the cash to start off the operations with, because we want to see you not in the market. Those are reserved for Ghanaians, but within the upscale or middle to upscale retail trade. And that's what the law says. And that's what. So we have to make a distinction between driving investment into our upscale retail space and into the markets, into the sale of finished pharmaceutical products, the basic printing of exercise books, the sachet water, the taxes that are reserved for Ghanaians. And the law also says that from time to time, the minister so responsible can make regulations to improve this list as reserved for Ghanaians. And then in the presentation of my other colleague, you asked a question about, so what is government doing for local businesses? You need to look at the trajectory, the growth in business of the country. Look, Ghana is growing in terms of business. The reason why we have people in the market at the lower end is because we've been doing well for some time. And so people will come to trade to make money. Ghana has implemented what we call the localization laws, local content. The goal of the local content laws, whether in mining, in petroleum, in gaming, in the brokerage of electricity, in the power sector, is to encourage local participation, is to ensure that Ghanaians have some equity in those businesses. So if you take the payment systems law, for instance, 30% you have to give it to a Ghanaian. So whether you are a Visa or a MasterCard and you're operating here, Ghanaians must have 30% of your business. If you look at what multinationals like MTN are doing, going on the stock exchange and floating, is to encourage Ghanaian participation. And we've built up many of these local content regulations just to encourage Ghanaians to participate in the economy. And you see it rather forcefully. I mean, from 2013, when President Mahama 1.0, he encouraged many of these regulations. And so we've been building on that. Take the pharmaceutical industry, for instance. The retail aspect is there for Ghanaians. But the main pharmaceutical work we have significant Ghanaian players that are dominant, that were supported in 2014. Some went into other West African countries. They are still being supported so we can produce our own vaccines and then produce the APIs for our use. So from us at GIPC, what we are saying is that, yes, Ghana is open for business. We expect to have a lot more investment. But what we are looking for is the balance. And we know there are areas that are reserved for Ghanaians. And we want to work with the district assembly, we want to work with Ghanaians to make these areas known so that together we can all protect that space that is reserved for Ghanaians. And that's what I want to say for now.
So this is something that you will do?
We will do. We've been doing it. All my predecessors have done it. I went into the market last week, Friday, with Guta. I have sat down with the executives of Guta to speak to them on the new law and to look at what they issue. Yes,
but
I have been to the market, so I know what is happening. But what I want to say is that, like my learned colleague said, the issue of citizenship is very complex. You have to be careful. Who is a citizen? The law doesn't say an indigene, where you and I can make assumptions. The law says a citizen. And even if that citizen is married to a Ghanaian for a period of 5 years, they can engage in that retail business. So we have to be careful so not to create the kind of impression that we do not want for ourselves. As we also have Ghanaians who are trading in other countries as well across. So we have to just manage.
I was really hoping we could get into the citizenship conversation properly with you, Doc.
Yes.
I mean, there are so many ways of becoming a citizen of Ghana. Even if you're not born in Ghana, you can buy registration, naturalization, or even if you are found actually in Ghana.
We need to have a whole discussion.
But very unfortunately, we will not be able to have our full segment on big issues today because we have an exclusive with Justice Atuguba on some conversations on what stated misbehavior is still on the back of the dismissed Chief Justice. So we will have to wrap up our conversation at 8:30, which is in just 10 minutes. So I'm going to come to you, Doc and Sami, just to finally wrap up on this conversation. And then, Sami, you can let us know what our expectation should be for the President's engagement tomorrow. Yes. So let Doc make his presentation and then I'll come to you.
In summary, for me, we need to formalize a lot of the things that we take for granted in this country. If you go to the United States and you marry a citizen, a foreigner marries a citizen, this is an event that should be known to immigration, the INS over there. If you bring in money, there is a way of tracking what foreigners are bringing in. We need to institutionalize, formalize a lot of the things that are kind of fluid in our system. If I go to the United States and I go and get married, and I try to register it, they will check whether I have a wife in Ghana. These things will be checked. These are things that we take for granted here. Then we've talked about standards board. You take something there to get tested because you are suspicious there's something wrong. You sit and wait. Say somebody's going to come and attend to you. You sit and sit and sit. It's because that is not what they usually do. But we need to formalize these things that we take for granted around here. Landlord, the law says that people should not be in the retail business. The landlord sees the money and he rents to, then the district assembly has to enforce that. So we need to formalize our life generally, institutions that we've taken for granted. Marriage is one big thing in this country. People have this, there's a missus, and then there are others. And it happens, I think even judges do that.
Do they?
So people, there are MPs, I'm sure, who have a missus and have other wives. I'm not, So we take it for granted. We need to come to a point where we have to realize that some of these things affect our socioeconomic existence, And we need to formalize things. When we say you need to be registered at NIA, when you go and you're going to register, NIA should know how you acquired your citizenship and all that. And we need to formalize these things and then enforce. I think it's unfair to heap it all on GIPC. You know.
That's not what we are doing.
You listen to the Guta and Tag and them, and it's as if it's GIPC that's in the firing line. But all these things that are happening, the laws are there, but it's a question of interpretation and enforcement, and a lot of times it's just because our system is so fluid.
There are lots of loopholes.
Yeah, we have to concretize things that we've taken for granted in this country for a long time. You know, one of my favorite parents, you know, men who do not take care of their children. You know, for example.
It's something the law should crack down on.
Yeah, it's so fluid. So the law, you are the children belong to
this conversation must be had.
So
full session.
We really need to formalize.
Yeah, I have just 2 minutes to wrap up. So I'll give you one and I'll give you one.
I think you mentioned something which I will need to clarify. Under the aegis of this Fourth Republic, no erudite, as far as industrialization is concerned, has been able to establish an automotive policy framework that today Ghana has a capacity to manufacture 125,000 to 140,000 vehicles a year. And that is credited to Honorable Alan Kojo Tramante. Today, the NDC has inherited that great work of his. That today, you have Toyota, you have Suzuki, you have Hyundai, you have Zonda, you have Kia, that is assembling VW, that is assembling vehicles locally in Ghana. And so I want to put that on record. Because you said that in the past we used to manufacture vehicles, but today it's no longer there.
I didn't say it was no longer there.
Okay, but you said in the past.
I was mentioning that there was.
But there's a present glory. You were referring to a past glory, but there's also a present glory, and that is as a result of the astuteness, right? The erudition, and indeed the patriotism and the vision of a son of this land, which is Honorable Alan Kojo Tramante, and we need to accord him in all regards.
All right.
Yes, so tomorrow, His Excellency the President will brief the media. This is something he does almost every year as far as he has become president from 2013 to 2017. So the President will seize the opportunity to highlight what his government has done in the last 8 years and seek to give the opportunity to media to critique or ask questions so that further clarifications will be given. I believe that there are key issues that the President will speak to. The issue of anti-galamsey fights, where we are going, our economic stability and economic recovery, oral, cocoa pricing, and what have you. There are a lot of issues that His Excellency will speak to. What Ghana got from a trip to Japan and Singapore.
Yeah.
So tomorrow will be very engaging, and just like he said, we work at the pleasure of the people. It is the people that voted for us. So we must be accountable to them. No fetters will be put in place to deny the people the opportunity to know what the government is doing and how the government is using the resources that the people have bequeathed to them. So let us all expect.
We look forward to discussing this further on Thursday on the show after that engagement tomorrow. So I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming in this morning. I think we've had a very interesting discussion. And I know that I promised that I'll read some of your messages. Unfortunately, I'm unable to do so, and I apologize for that. We would have to end big issues now because we have that exclusive with Justice Atuguba and my colleague Beatrice Edu in studio this morning. We've had Dr. Sami Aye, Presidential Aide, Government Communications, Dr. Josiah A.M. Koba, former Principal Lecturer, GIMPA, and private legal practitioner, Dr. Ramsey Inusa, Communications Team Member for the Movements for Change, and Mr. Simon Maji, CEO of the GIPC. Stay tuned. You're watching TV3 New Day. We'll be back with a discussion on sports, the Black Stars' performance yesterday, and matters arising in that exclusive with Justice Atuguba. Stay tuned.
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank account.
Sign here, sign here, sign here, and here. And now you draw.